Yes, I do know that you're playing Esper.
Ironwood Games. This is Andrew.
And this is Marcus.
Marcus is here. He decided to
I'm
jump
here.
in, or we were going to do something, and I was like, I just finished the draft. Come join me. So we're going to get into these games. Marcus has not seen the deck yet. As you
Nope.
were commenting, you can tell that it's Esper. From our picture here. If you guys watched the last video, you know what our deck has. Marcus does not. It's going to be exciting. We're going to see kind of what he thinks as we start going and his opinions of things. I don't know if you recognize the card art here either for our first pick.
Oh, that's a good observation. No, I don't know what that card is.
It's a
I'm still
mythic.
relatively.
Yeah, I have a lot of time, even when I know the sets, sometimes just the cropped image is hard to do. It is a mythic. I'm excited to see if it's any good or not.
I want to say maybe it's a foretell card, but I could be wrong.
I don't believe it has foretell. We'll see how much I remember of my deck too, since it's now been like 30 minutes since I finished the draft. But it's suffice to say, it's my style of deck in that it's crazy. I got greedy and I'm trying to do some things. It's also, let me hit play and we'll start matching and pairing and seeing. I will say I took some inspiration from a deck you drafted and played against me last week or 2 weeks ago, whenever we played socially distanced, of course, since we're still in COVID times. Those of you that are watching in, the year 2030 here, like, what's COVID times?
Wow, I feel so old. I can't even remember what I've drafted in the weeks past.
All
Okay.
right. What do you think, Marcus?
I unfortunately would probably have to mull that.
Yeah, I agree with only having black and double white on this card. That's going to be amazing. We're going to send this one back. I am going first. That's interesting. This was the card art there. So the Burning Rune Demon. I
Okay.
think with Foretell on this guy and a 2-drop, we can't not keep this.
Yeah, unfortunately, gotta send your mythic back. Or
Yeah,
at
we
least
got to
I
send
would.
the Mythic without needing 2 black sources and not having any. The other option would be Frostpeak Yeti because we are just splashing the blue. But this card is more likely to get in if we do draw the blue. And I just love that card. So we'll play Plains, we'll pass. What do you think?
Oh, I
Foretell
haven't.
on turn 2 or the 2-drop?
Let's see what you draw.
Oh, such a good answer. Like, wait and see what we have.
Well, wait. I don't. Let me see what pup does. He boasts, right?
He boasts for +2/+0, but it costs 3, and he does have first strike.
And then
So my
the shield
2/1 would
mirror
die.
or shield me. Yeah, foretell.
Yeah, I agree. I think I'm not worried. He can't pump it this turn. We take 1. And then next turn, if I draw a land, I can play Shield Mate and Convertible. And we did.
Just being clutch.
That's how
Yeah,
I do
I would.
it.
Yeah, I would double.
I pause there just because I like to try and make sure the mana. Usually Arena's good at it, but sometimes with the auto mana, since I need a double white.
I have not played Arena in forever. They've done a really good job dating everything, like the board and the play
Yeah,
area and the
they've made
new
some good
effects.
updates and changes. So this is interesting in that if we block here, he can pump and take out my guy. We can block here. He could have another trick. There, all sorts of options here, or we could be taking 5 damage. Because I have some decent things, I don't know that I want to take 5. What do you think?
So the black red, I believe, is a sacrifice deck, and
Yeah,
black has a lot of good stuff with having things in the graveyard. I don't. Can you have over the black card real quick?
this one here.
It has
It
black magic. Yeah,
creates
when he
the
dies, if it
token.
um, if its power was 3 or greater, I would
Right.
at least chump that.
I
Uh,
agree.
yeah.
I think that's the blocks that I want to do. Again, if he spins a spell to pump it and get something, otherwise we trade and I get the token. So I actually come out slightly ahead in that exchange. And then, yeah, he'll spend his mana on another card. Ooh. So we've got replicating. As you can see, I got greedy here in my deck. But having nothing else to do, we're going to play it. I'm going to hold back for defense. My 1/1 blocks his lifelink, if nothing else. And again, if he has to hold up his mana till second main to threaten with pup, which I'm fine. I'm not going to block it. If he wants to spend his mana to do that and not advance the board, I think that's fine. Replicating Ring will grow, and he's got kind of limited time to do things. So now with Replicating Ring, we can Firja's Retribution, which I think is really good. We can Skimfar, which would either drain for 2 or gain 2, or we can Frostpeak Yeti. We can use the Snow from Replicating Ring to get him in unblocked. But I think the 4/4 and the continued power is the best. Sorry, I know I'm moving all over the place.
No, you're good. Yeah, do what you gotta do. I'm not too familiar with the saga. I don't want to waste time. So if you feel that'll make the win state on that, that's good. My concern is he hasn't played any removal yet, and so he might have some in his hand. But
yes,
especially if he's foretelled.
No, I agree with you. And when we see all of the deck, that's part of some of the consideration of this. Build in this deck has that built in. I think we're still going to stay back and block. This isn't a good trade for the 3/1. And I'd rather just block. Yeah, so Wither Crown is fine, but he's, again, spending a card to get rid of our token. It does negate Chapter 2. We're going to take that action. I'm not going to lose life. So if you don't know this one, it creates the 4/4 White Angel. And then until end of turn in Chapter 2, angels you control gain tap, destroy target creature with power less than this creature's power. So I was going to be able to kill off one of his creatures. So his play was a good play. And then it negates the saga, essentially. Angels you control gain double strike until the end of turn. And so as you pointed out, rightfully so, right, the removal does make this card much worse. But I think it forces his hand where he didn't get a free attack in as well. And now the question is, what do we want to play? And I think we're going to put on Pressure. And yeah, let's build the board out. We do get Trigger here. Again, I'm not going to attack. I'm going to try and just sneak in for the unblockable damage, I think. What's this? Oh, this lets you steal stuff from me? Cool. Play our land out. At this point, I don't even know if I want to go in. I'm kind of thinking if we just wait on this and let the ring pop off, we are in a much better spot for like Great Hall of Starnheim and other things. Especially since this zombie cleric he has lets him basically recast any of the creatures of mine that die. So for that reason, I'm just going to hold up my blockers right now. What do you think, Marcus? Am I playing too soft?
I mean, yeah, I mean, I think definitely it just all depends.
I was going to comment on him having Skull Raid.
I probably would have attacked for Yeti, but if you feel like it's better to hold back, then yeah. I wouldn't rely on Ring in a snow deck. Like I feel like that if it pops off, like that's just convenience. It's not something I would hold back for just to wait to. But that's just me.
I hear what you're saying. I just chump here.
Why? You have health.
True. It's just if he doesn't have anything else to play, then he gets to effectively use his mana.
Fair enough. Okay.
And since it's a non-token...
Yeah, but if you block, he still has the mana.
Right, but if he doesn't have anything to play anyways, he would have used his mana to pump, right? This way, if he doesn't, he just passes and has untapped mana. Doesn't get to advance the board state.
Yeah, you can't play that.
We can't play the planes?
I wouldn't. I'd keep it in my hand unless you need something.
Well, I'm thinking we pop off.
Yeah, well, right now you need
Great Hall.
double black.
Oh, you're right. Even though the demon is on the bottom, double black. Well, I do have the replicating ring that... This is an interesting one.
Starman's only three mana, right?
Starnheim? Yeah, it's only 3. So you think keep it and still pop it off?
Well, if he will keep it because if he's playing discard, you're gonna want that as fodder. And he already did play a discard card.
True. We're gonna sacrifice this guy. Then he can have him with his ice counter. That's fine. Here I am going to attack. Make him unblockable. I think going in for 7, we're going to get to a point where we're going to kind of be racing. Because I don't want to be blocking his 4/4 and giving him more things to put on the board. So my thinking is, and you tell me how I'm wrong, Marcus, but my thinking is 2 attacks with the Yeti and the Angel, put him down to 3, and then either one is lethal. So unless, right, he starts changing the math on things, that's what we're looking at, of course. That did change the math. So now do I put down the Swamp to have double black, or keep the 2 cards? What do you think, Marcus?
It depends on how much double black you need. If you have any of the double black removal, then yeah. But I guess with Replicating Ring, you don't need it. So yeah, I guess just hold back.
I agree. If it was a snowland, I think it would change the calculus. Or the calculation. But since it's not, I don't think...
Well, yeah, Replicating Ring is going to pop off in 3 turns anyway. You won't need mana at that point.
And so this is where I say, yeah, we're going to kind of do... we're looking at this race here. And... what's this? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. If I don't block anything...
I would not... Well, I would... Oh, well, that too.
You
might have the creature that's the if creatures dealt damage this turn, destroy it. So I wouldn't block with your Angel.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not going to block with the Angel. I think I'm going to block the Dusk Wielder because it doesn't trade without a pump, and when it dies, he doesn't get. I think it's only my creatures, anyways. Or I could block the Lifelinker, but if he pumps it, he gains more life. Is the reason I'm going to block this guy. He can pay the boast cost either way, whether I block or not, and then he's got to decide what he wants to do. That lifelink does cause us some problems. Alright. And he's going to deal 3 damage to any target. So he can kill the Yeti, but he has to sacrifice a creature. Or he can kill our Oracle. That's fine. This Dogged Pursuit, since this is a snowland, I will play it. Yeah, and he gets our Yeti, unfortunately. What is this? Each player discards a card. Turn target creature from graveyard to the battlefield. So we can't win if we go head to head. Can I guess this is Vigilance, so I can't attack with it anyways. And then still block. Alright. We're going to block or discard a planes. Yeah, these last 3 turns drawing lands has been a little bit anticlimactic, but it happens, right?
I feel like to us more than anyone else.
Well, yes. Yeah. It always happens to yourself more than to your opponents. Oh my goodness. This guy's got some stuff. Okay. Use your opponent control. Attack each combat if able. Oh. Okay.
Oh.
He's
4 lands in a row. What are the odds?
Force us into attacking and then kill us on the crackback. Is that the plan here? And we're 1 short from that popping off. 4 lands in a row. Yeah, all attack. Don't have any other options. Yeah, and then of course each player mills. Oh my goodness. There were 2 more lands on top of our deck because we just milled 3. Oh, that's so ridiculous.
How come you didn't just scoop?
How come I didn't just scoop? Because I still have an angel?
Oh.
I'm not dead until he deals with this threat. I mean, I'm pretty dead, but I'm not quite dead. I'm not quite dead yet. You know, Monty Python? The Holy Grail? Is that before your time?
Black Knight, right? No, I mean it was before my time, but I have seen.
It's the it's early on when they're bring out the dead with the plague victim.
Yes.
Yeah, and he's in the wheelbarrow and he's like, "I'm not quite dead yet." He's like, "Shut up, you will be." Or, I don't know what the line is, but something along those lines. Yeah, okay, we've pretty much lost here. I just want to see what he does, and I might 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This pops off next turn, right? And so I do have an out. But no,
okay, that's 8 damage.
He got right. Well, he got. I didn't realize this got buffed somehow or something. What happened? How did this get? Oh, he gets a counter.
It was the saga.
This previous saga. Oh, that's why. Okay. Okay. I wasn't paying attention. You're right. We don't have outs.
Yeah, you were too busy saying boomer jokes versus paying attention to the game.
You're right, Marcus. Oh no, we've lost Marcus. He's not here for the rest of the recording. What happened? Teach you to make
not again.
Make criticisms against me. Yeah, every time you're critical. All right. Well, that was our first game and our first loss. So we're about on par for my performance. What are your thoughts so far on the deck, Marcus?
Well, it seems to be a bit mana heavy. I'm curious, is the unblockable the only thing you're splashing blue for?
No.
Okay.
Almost, but no. There's 3 blue cards.
Okay.
Would that be a problem? You don't like that card? Is that what you're saying?
No, I mean, it's a good card. I guess with Replicating Ring, there is some stuff, and you do have a dual land. At least 1 dual land. So as long as there's fixing, I made the mistake the other, I think, 1 draft of trying to force Abzan or something like that. It just was a bad idea. Especially when snow matters, when you're just like pulling snow lands, regardless of they're in your deck, like it really fucks up your mana curve.
Yes,
And
100% I
fixing.
agree.
So yeah,
It'll be interesting. What I would love to hear is if you go back and watch the draft and kind of see, because these were some of the things I kind of agonized over on some of those picks of like, especially that Frostpeak Yeti early on, because that's a card I love. It's evasion and it can close out a game or put on a lot of pressure.
it's also cheaper compared to a lot of the evasion cards in blue, so it's definitely worth
Yeah.
it. Usually those are like a 6-drop.
And that was, I mean, because early on, if when you go back and look at it, you'll see before we even settled in colors, right? We had black, white, blue, and we were still open. We could have ended up in green, red at that point if the cards came. But then as we kind of narrowed in black, white, it was that question of, are we still going to splash the blue? Is that card worth it? And is it not? And we obviously ended up with it, but was that the right decision? I don't know.
To game 2.
All right, let's do it. Let's see if we can do better. I have fun with it. It's definitely a greedy deck. I will give you that. And all those lands there did not do nice to us, having to take the mulligan. But those are excuses, and I don't like to make excuses, so
Andrew, do you draft anything else but gritty decks?
No, generally not. We can foretell. Bound in gold. We don't have the black. This is basically a dead card right now. But would we keep this as a 6? I know what I'm gonna do. What do you think, Marcus?
I would definitely mull.
Haha, I'm gonna keep. Greedy keeps with greedy decks. I don't know that that's
Okay,
right.
Jake.
What?
Is it okay, Jake?
Oh. I don't want to mull into a worse hand, and now I feel bad. Now I feel really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's all right.
Did we have to learn that lesson again?
I don't know that that's. I disagree, though. I think that's. What's the chance? That's like one of 32 cards, 33 cards. We have 8 black sources. We know that.
So mathematically, you're absolutely correct. RNG gods, though, do they ever give us favor or at all?
No, but I haven't been making my sacrifices lately. So maybe that's my fault. I just played my creature here because I don't think either of these are enough to put bound in gold and do it. Jaspara's Sentinel can definitely be a problem. Now, this is definitely something I'll bind in gold. I'll take the hit because I can't win by giving up my only creature. Okay, yeah, we're definitely being punished by the gods. I get it, Marcus. You were right. We should have taken the mulligan.
I mean, I guess there's some argument that like if you only need like one more land, it's better to keep a hand like that. Just with 3 colors, like not having black, which seems to be a main color, that just didn't feel comfortable. I'd rather have a 5-land hand or 5-card hand that has the mana I need versus risking it. But I mean,
Agreed.
there's merits to both. Like I don't think what you did was bad, and you know your deck. And this is,
I think so. Right.
Me just saying that, I'm like,
No, and that's why
I mean, if there was a lot more foretell cards, it would be a lot better. But I don't think any of those were foretelling.
No, and I have a few, too few. I would love a few more. One of the things that I discussed after the draft and that I know is that my double black cards are all at the top of my curve. So I was not expecting a double black card and kind of thinking it's drawing into a swamp is a little bit more likely. I don't know. Did I get too greedy? Maybe. Did my opponent leave? Is he just timing out?
I was gonna say, are you gonna win out of like a different RNG god that like makes your opponent forfeit?
Maybe. I will take the win. It's always rough because I've been in this situation, especially when I had the store. I'd be playing in the back, as you know, and customers would come in, and so I'd go help people, and I'd feel bad because I'm timing out, but my opponents are getting free wins. So I try and put myself. Oh my god, getting so punished here, Marcus. All right, let's just pass. Yeah, see, I told you it was kind of inspired by a deck you had drafted.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about Persia.
But yeah, so say maybe he had a sudden emergency. Maybe the pizzas just got delivered. I don't want to. It could be people at his door. Real things going on. So I will take the win. It doesn't feel. It's not. I'm not going to be like, yeah, that was great. We did great, especially with what we're drawing. At this point, I would be happy for the timeout win just because it's a better chance of winning than going up against this. But if he's not drawing anything and gets stuck on land or whatever, we could come back in this. I mean, that's a good card.
You totally could. You're absolutely right.
2 swamps in a row would change us, but I swear, Marcus, we have more white like in the bottom of our curve.
I have a really hard time believing
than you would believe by what you've seen in this game. So I guess I'm gonna take 5 because
I mean, there's your white card.
Yeah, there it is. You're right. And it's not a bad. Also, this is I don't know if you know this one, but he gets enchantments back. So that was one of the other reasons that we weren't incredibly sad about losing the value in that and saying we had to force him to deal with our angel that way. This was good.
So I don't know if you're aware, Shaper, but this is what's called getting your shit pushed in. That's what just happened.
Thank you. I see that. I will add to the comment, or add a comment on that because I did the quick draft against the bots. I don't know if I told you that or not. But those that have been watching know that it is more likely that opponents that also did that have some crazy decks, because once you know what you have and what bots pick, then you're up against some crazier decks sometimes, which is again a risk that I run. I did it as I was telling everyone, so I wouldn't have the timer since I'm not familiar with all the cards yet, and I could do that. So
I don't know that was still an option when drafting. That's kind of cool.
It is after the first couple weeks of the new set. Then they put up the quick draft. When all it was on Arena was quick draft and everyone was quick drafting, it was a little bit more balanced, I felt like. You still got, the spectrum of opponents. I feel like since they switched, a lot of times the quick draft is people with ridiculous decks. And I don't know. My speculation is that people go and do the quick draft, and if they don't get a ridiculous deck, they just resign. Or more people do, because it's kind of such a lower cost to entry, and that. But I don't know. These are all just speculative things. So, well, that's two matches. It's been about 30 minutes. We'll pause here. We'll come back and get some more. We'll try and get a win, at least one win in before we lose our third game. But thanks, guys, for watching, and we will see you in the next one.
Bye.